Now I want to look at 3 major deceptive understandings created in Sweetcostarica's YouTube video. Deception statement number 1. The false notion of tourist and traditional cookeries. Firstly, I must state that this whole notion of tourist versus traditional cookeries is a ridiculous and warped concept that relies on the ignorance of the audience. This has been created by Sweet and Hengle to promote their narrow-minded and arrogant understanding to make the claim that they sell the only real cookeries. This is a marketing scam. To give you a real-life example, Ralph went to an expensive restaurant with some other businessmen, and during the meal they were told about the most amazing cake that was on offer for dessert. They were told about how difficult it is to make and about its expensive ingredients. After agreeing to share in a cake together and paying the exorbitant price, the waiter brought out a tiny cupcake-sized dessert that 4 men had to share. This, I believe, is a suitable analogy to describe the truth behind the claims of Sweet about Tora blades. Please note that everything Sweet tells us is his opinion, which he admits both once verbally on video and in writing hidden amongst the comment replies attached to his videos. He admits on his videos that he is an amateur, yet speaks authoritatively like he is an expert. He is either knowingly being covertly malicious in his intentions, or is simply an ignorant conduit believing everything Hengle tells him, or a combination of both. Real-world use of cookeries. Ralph has spent countless months of his life surviving in all types of outdoor environments and knows what is best and less than ideal regarding outdoor survival equipment. I was told by Ralph that many army-issued machetes were purposely lost because they were too light to be effective, causing wrist and elbow injuries. This completely exposes Sweet for his ignorance concerning the alleged superiority of the Tora cookeries, which he likens to lightweight machetes being more effective than what he calls tourist cookeries, which are much heavier. Sweet makes a ridiculous statement that all heavier cookeries weighing 2.1 pounds or 950 grams are unbalanced, odd designs. This false statement is bent towards the notion that only Tora blades specialize in traditional cookeries of alleged exact specifications. Yet again, this information uses the ignorance of the audience to promote the alleged exclusiveness of Tora blades. Another marketing scam. These small size cookeries are available from most cookery manufacturers and make up one of numerous subgroups of designs that are within the category of traditional cookeries. Let's learn what an expert has to say who knows the history of cookeries made in Nepal very well and is aware of the wide variety of cookeries that fall into the category of being traditional. Here is a statement from KHHI's website. Shapes and sizes of cookeries from ancient to modern ones have varied intensively from place to place, person to person, maker to maker, and so forth. Cookeries made in the eastern village Bhojpur, very famous for cookeries, make fat, thick blades, whereas Sirapate, the most famous cookery in Nepal, are very slim. Similarly, cookeries from Salyan are long and slender with a deep belly, and in Dankuta, a village in the east, makes simple standard army type blades but has an emphasis on the scabbard by making it decorative and ornate. Cookeries made during the 18th and 19th century was much longer and more curved than the modern counterparts. The shapes often have a very broad belly and heavy or very curved and slender and thus very light. Only the standard army issue were and are made of the same dimensions and measurements in order to bring uniformity and tidiness to the unit, whereas local cookeries still continue to vary from one another, making it impossible to characterize or distinguish a particular cookery from the rest. Moreover, since all cookeries are totally handmade, even the same type and version tend to differ a bit, leaving the impression of the maker's habits and his individuality. Hence, yet again, Sweet proves to be a deceiver. Please consider, just like you can go to a hardware store and discover there is a wide selection of hammers for different tasks, so too are there a wide variety of cookeries for different tasks. Something any intelligent person will understand quickly when considering the wide variety of applications kukris can have when living off the land. Now I'm just going a bit off script here. I'm just giving you a heads up warning that the next image is a bit out of my conservative style, but sometimes when you need to get a point across, you've got to be a bit outrageous. And just a heads up warning, the discretion advised with the next image coming up. Sweet the deceiver wants everyone to believe his unintelligent dogma for the purpose of stealing market share from long-established Nepalese businesses who conduct themselves ethically and with integrity. The lies of Sweet point to unethical motives, and for this reason alone, it is wise to disregard his recommendations. There is a large variety of kukris available at KHHI, a full range of traditional, military, historical and decorative designs, along with a custom design service that has produced a range of modern and very popular kukris, especially for men with large hands. Here's a couple of guys who have played in my favourite rugby team who certainly have hands that are way too big to use traditional kukris. Here's another guy with an Australian design kukri with the YouTube name Jorgsprave, who states that this is the first kukri that fits his hands. He is so happy he is like a kid in a candy shop. Here's another guy, Eric Speidel, who loves the look of the modern design and is very happy with the prompt and friendly service he received from KHHI. Lastly, Stealthy Spider explains that he much prefers the modern KHHI American Eagle design over the traditional, having tested them both in his garden. The ergonomics of the modern design is far superior for his large hands. Furthermore, as they become available, Nepalese themselves are happy to use modern designs for everyday use. They are not locked into toffee-nosed tradition like Sweet Deceiver and hated Hengle, who clearly discriminate against large-handed people. To finish this major point about the false notion of so-called tourist kukris, Ralph, my kids, and I had some fun with a Queensland blue pumpkin that is well known for being very difficult to cut. As you can see, we tested its toughness, putting approximately 700 kilos or 1,500 pounds of weight on it, and it held for over 2 minutes, breaking down in 2 stages in the 3rd minute. Ralph did not manage to chop all the way through it, but I assure you, there is no way a lightweight kukri from Tora Blades can do what the 3 Chura, aka the Beast, achieved. Here we see Ralph easily cutting a new piece of gidgee wood with the Beast new out of the wrapping. This is the 3rd hardest wood known to man that burred over Ralph's axe. 4 months later, having let the gidgee wood dry out significantly as seen in this photograph, Ralph demonstrates again that the 3 Chura is definitely a multi-tool in doing heavy-duty work, unlike the lightweight traditional designs made by Tora that will cause wrist and elbow injuries with hard use. The KHHI 3 Chura is sharper, lighter and cleaner cutting than an axe. To summarise, if you go with Tora blades, pay a lot more, wait many months instead of a few weeks, they reject the idea of having customised service, get something that is only suitable for small hands, that does light duty work and is a weird representation of one subgroup of traditional kukris. If you want a hard-working multi-tool that is very ergonomic with an excellent prompt customised service, give Tora blades a miss. Look for suppliers with a proven history of quality and excellent service, and watch independent reviews of their products. I am sure you will conclude that Ralph and many others agree with. KHHI is definitely one of the best manufacturers in the world, and we'll be looking at KHHI's proven track record next that thoroughly supports this claim. In conclusion, the perception of tourist kukris that Sweet Deceiver is persistently pushing is unintelligent bullpoo dogma.